Hi, everybody. Welcome to Digital Champions. I'm your host, Charlene Chirk, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And today we're joined by Sean Lucas of Sparkit Marketing. Sean, thanks so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And Sean, tell us a little bit about Sparkit Marketing. I mean, kind of what you do is in the name, and once you explain, I think they'll get it.
Yeah. So Sparkit Marketing, we are a cannabis-focused marketing agency specializing in digital. So we do anything from mobile apps, websites, SEO, we rock at SEO, to geofencing and everything surrounding those types of campaigns.
And talk to us about the clients who come to you. I mean, I think people are familiar with the larger franchise dispensaries, you know, in particular states. But I mean, who else do you serve, or is that your target market?
Yeah, we work with, dispensaries, mom and pop shops, large dispensary chains, but we also work with growers, processors, producers, ancillary businesses, such as, cannabis business attorneys, cannabis insurance agencies, delivery services for cannabis. I mean, you name it, we work with it.
And talk about what platforms you find are the best fit for these messages.
So as far as like with cannabis and digital marketing, I started in the professional cannabis industry 6 years ago, a little over 6 years ago. And back then there was just no choice for cannabis companies to actually digitally advertise. So initially, a long time ago, it seems like now, I set up what is now known as the Cannabis Digital Marketing or Digital Network. So essentially what I did was reached out to every app developer in the world, and whether you're a large company or you're a single app developer, and I built this large digital network that allowed cannabis businesses to advertise on, large, apps or mobile sites such as like TMZ, USA Today. I started building these relationships and creating this network, and that applies to geofencing. So as far as options today, cannabis businesses can now advertise across the board, and it's all based on the network that I set up about 6 years ago.
And where do you see this going in the next 2 years? Because I'm sure with the past 6 years, you've really kind of been an innovator, particularly in this space, in trying to even figure out not only the messaging, but where the messaging can reach its audience. Where do you see it evolving in the next couple of years?
Well, I mean, we're looking forward to the federal legalization of cannabis. That's going to open up a lot of new territory. When we're talking federal, then we have to, abide by the FCC. Currently we do, but we also abide by state, guidelines because it's federally illegal, right? So the FCC kind of doesn't get involved, but we do follow those guidelines. As far as where everything's going to be app-based, right? And it will all be online ordering. It will all be online shopping, being able to have cannabis products delivered to your home, within 30 minutes, or, when it does become federally legal, being able to order, cannabis products from any number of businesses, in a particular state. For instance, I'm in Washington. I go to, I'm right on the border of Oregon, Washington, so I'm in 2 legal states. Both of these states in themselves are brands, and then you have the companies underneath those. There are companies in those states, growers, processors, producers, that can sell under that brand itself. So somebody in Georgia can order cannabis online and get it, Oregon cannabis online, and get it delivered, overnighted to their house the next day. That's the future. It will all be app-based. It will all be online ordering, and we're just gearing up for that.
And so when customers come to you, your customers come to you, what is the biggest issue that they've got that they need you to help them with?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What is the pain point that you're solving for your clients?
Conversions. Just being able to accurately show conversion data. I've been in this particular industry, in this side of the business for a long time. I work with a lot of companies. Really, the bottom line is conversions. It doesn't matter how much that conversion costs to get. We just, it's very important that you can show, that end user, whether it's B2B or B2C, an actual conversion. So that's what's the driving factor there.
And Sean, before we wrap up, real quick, what's the $1 million tip you could give someone who's just starting in this industry? Maybe they're opening a dispensary, or like you said, they're a mom and pop, or they're a grower. What's the $1 million tip you can give them?
So to get, traffic quickly. A lot of times people start a business and they think they're going to have a line out the door as soon as they open, and they don't. So be proactive. And one of the most beneficial things you can do for your business is just local SEO. Just think about it. Focus on Google My Business. Focus on your Yelp profile. Focus on Yellow Pages. It might seem insignificant to you, but that's a large directory that has millions of visitors each month. So why not piggyback on it? So manage these directory listings and make sure that your local SEO, where people are going to find you the quickest and soonest, is on point. Too many times people get lost in a large SEO scheme of, oh, hey, I've got to rank for this large keyword that companies have spent millions ranking for, and I'm never going to ever get there, but for some reason I keep doing it. No, focus on local SEO, be very strategic, focus on these local directories, and you'll see success out of it.
Sean, that is such good advice across the board. I was like, oh, with this industry, it's got to be so specific, and everything you said really does apply to any industry out there trying to get seen on the digital space.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Sean, thanks so much for joining us. Loved hearing from you. Very interesting stuff. And I understand you're in a warehouse and it looks empty. How is that? You're just so good. Everything's gone.
Yeah. No, actually, we're just setting it up. So just an interesting quick note is a client of ours, I was able to take all of their paraphernalia items out of their dispensary point of sale system, push it over to a separate point of sale system, and we can still run these products and we can still sell these products in the dispensary, but it's on a separate point of sale, which immediately gives us a 30% bump in revenue because we're not paying cannabis tax on the glass. So what you see behind me is the warehouse that I set up that's getting ready to get filled with all the glass that's in the next warehouse. So this is a solution for them to be able to, kind of scale and grow and not have all their eggs in one basket or in one particular, tax bracket.
Well, Sean, thanks so much for joining us. Great insight. We appreciate you, and get busy, I guess. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day.
Oh, thank you so much. And if you'd like to learn more about what Sean Lucas is doing with Sparkit Marketing, you can check him out on dailyadbrief.com. Well, that's going to do it for us today. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk. Thank you so much for joining us on Digital Champions, and we will see you again next time.